Okay, so we've talked about the present subjunctive and the present perfect subjunctive. And when you start a sentence in the present tense, you use the present subjunctive. If you start a sentence in the present tense but you're talking about the past, you use the present perfect subjunctive. And if you start a sentence in the past, then you use the past subjunctive. So how you form the past subjunctive, remember you have to go to the ellos, ellas, ustedes of the preterite, take off the ron, and add ra, ras, ra, ramos, and ron. And the nosotros is always going to have an accent on the letter that's right before the ramos. Oops. So ra, ras, ra, something, ramos, ron. So for pagar, in the ellos, ellas, ustedes of the preterite, it is pagaron. So I take off the ron and add these endings. So yo pagarra, to pagarras, el, ella, usted pagarra, nosotros pagáramos with an accent, and ellos, ellas, ustedes pagaran. You want to make really certain that you're pronouncing these correctly, so like pagara, because if you pronounce it pagara, that's the future tense, like he or she will pay. So you want to make sure that you're pronouncing it with the spoken accent before the ra. So pagara, pagaras, pagara. Okay, for traer, the ellos, ellas, ustedes in the preterite is trajeron. And if you didn't know that, then you might want to go back and review your preterite. So we're going to take off the ron and add the ending. So trajera, trajeras, trajera, trajeramos with an accent, and trajeran. So hopefully you remember this a little bit from last year. So to practice, normally when you're using the past subjunctive, your sentence either starts with the past or the conditional, and then you use the past subjunctive. You still have to know all of your triggers. So you still have to know whether it's a subjunctive sentence or not, obviously, before you can decide what tense of subjunctive to use. So, tenía miedo de que. Will it be subjunctive? Yes, because tenía miedo de que is an emotion, and emotions are subjunctive. Tenía is in the past tense, so I need the past subjunctive of comer. So, I was afraid that a bear would eat me. So, tenía miedo de que me. The ellos, ellas, ustedes is comieron. Take off the ron and add ra, 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 más ron. So, comiera. Sería bueno que. This is the conditional. Sería bueno que is a subjunctive trigger because it's basically a general statement. It's the same as saying es bueno que. So general statements have to use subjunctive. So sería bueno que el estudiante no. Estar in the preterite ellos, ellas, ustedes is estuvieron. So take off the ron and add ra, ras, ra, ramas, ron. And this is for el estudiante, so it would be estuviera. It would be good if the student were not sick. Estaba segura de que. I was sure that. So we have the past tense here, but I was sure that is not a subjunctive trigger. It's don't be fooled. Because I was sure about it, therefore it's certain, therefore it's not doubt. So we're just going to use the regular past tense here, not the subjunctive past. So I was sure that I was going to like the new Guerra de las Galaxias is Star Wars. So I was sure that I was going to like the new Star Wars. Regular past tense, iba. Ojalá. So hopefully or I wish. This isn't necessarily a past conditional, but you can use it with the past subjunctive, and in any case, it is a subjunctive trigger. So here we're going to use it with the past subjunctive tuviera, because the ellos, ellas, ustedes is tuvieron. So I wish I had $1 million. If you used it with the with the present subjunctive, it would be hopefully I have $1 million. But since you're using it with the past subjunctive, it would be hopefully or I wish I had $1 million. So just remember, if you have the past or conditional at the beginning of your sentence and you have a subjunctive trigger, you're going to use the past subjunctive. If you have the past or conditional and you don't have a subjunctive trigger, you're just going to use the regular past tense. Thank you very much.